So now the real business begins with the first proper game of the season. It is the curtain opener of Europe. Stick around. Hello friends, come on in and welcome back to the Blue Pride of London. I'm your host Nathan and it's an absolute pleasure to have all of you here today. It really is. So let's get the admin out the way first. If you have just stumbled across us and you are in fact a fan of Chelsea, it would mean so much to us if you would consider subscribing to the channel and maybe giving this video a like. That way more people can see it. It really does help the algorithm. So with all that out the way, let's get into what is my first match preview of the 2021-2022 season, and it is a big game to start off with. It is in fact the curtain opener of Europe, which is the Super Cup, and it is against Villarreal over in Belfast. And yeah, I'm going to have a bit of a talk about the game, a bit of talk about how we got there, and a little bit of a prediction of the team, because you know it is quite a it is a massive guess, if I'm completely honest. You know, we've had a bit of a peculiar pre-season and a lot of our main players haven't even kicked a ball in anger. So let's have a quick little look at that, shall we? Now, like I said, guys, it is a big game to start us off with. It is, in fact, a European trophy. And it is a game which is played against the kings of Europe, the Champions League winners, which is Chelsea. Of course, we beat Man City 1-0 over in Portugal. And the Europa League winners, which is Villarreal, who beat Manchester United on penalties just a few days before the Champions League final as well. And it's pretty much the chance to become the supreme champions of Europe, winning the the overall trophy. And it is what I would consider the curtain opener of European football. Because the Champions League football doesn't start for another few months where we defend our title. And we're still waiting for the group stages to be announced. But yeah, let's have a quick little look at the teams. And obviously we'll have a little bit of a check with Villarreal and see exactly what type of team we are up against. So Chelsea have taken the short flight across the Irish Sea to Belfast, and they are getting ready for their game tonight. What can we say about Chelsea into the lead up this game? Not a lot. Of course, the actual team was announced and submitted yesterday afternoon. So because Chelsea are still waiting while recording this to announce the signing of Romelu Lukaku, he is not actually in the team. So the Chelsea team isn't exactly going to be any different compared to what it was last season. Now, Tammy Abraham has in fact made the squad, which is a little bit peculiar, eye-raising just a little bit slightly, because obviously his inevitable move over to Roma, by the looks of it, for 34 million, which hasn't yet been announced. It might be by the time I've released this video in the afternoon. But that does raise questions, because obviously he currently has the number 9 shirt, but that is also Lukaku's favourite number. So is that a shirt that Lukaku's going to take, because he has it at Belgium and he's had it at Inter Milan as well? So which means when Tammy gets sold, or when the signing gets announced that he is in fact number 9, which looks like it is paving the way out for Tammy Abraham. But yeah, the squad hasn't changed much. And when I do my squad prediction a little bit later on, it's going to be quite peculiar, because a lot of the players that I have in fact mentioned in my squad haven't actually kicked the ball in anger since their last game, which a few of them was in fact the European final. And then obviously you've got Thiago Silva, who played in the Copa America final, lost to Argentina. So it is a bit of a guesstimate. But let's have a look at Villarreal. Now, they are a mid-table La Liga team. They finished 7th last season. And a lot of people say that they did play very well against Manchester United in the Europa League final, but were quite lucky when it came to penalties, because at the end of the day, it is a potluck. You know, if the goalkeeper gets the right way, the goal becomes a hero. If he doesn't, you know, he becomes a bit of a villain. So what does it look like on paper? On paper, Chelsea look like they are the better team. They should be the better team. They're the most expensive team. Now, even though we do have our new goalkeeper in the squad, there's a very slim chance that he's going to make an appearance in this game. But we've not brought anybody else in the transfer window thus far. Yes, Lukaku has passed his medical, and we are just still waiting for it to be absolutely announced. And we are still looking to potentially get Koundé as well as a defender. He's our main target in the back there also. So we are still looking at the same team that potentially started the Champions League final to start this particular game as well. Villarreal have in fact made a few signings. They've made 4 signings this summer. And they've had quite a lot of players come back on loan. So I think when I looked at the sort of like the rankings, about 14 new players came back to their squad, but you would expect a lot of them not to actually make the first team, and potentially a lot of them to also go back on loan before the transfer window finishes. Don't know if any of their new players are being brought in for first team football, but like I said, on paper, this should be a simple Chelsea win. But considering how we play recently, yes, we are solid at the back, but going forward, we are always lackadaisy with our goals. So it could go anyway. If Villarreal are coming out saying like, this is our one and only chance to win this trophy, let's get out there. It's one game, anything can happen. Or if Chelsea have actually pulled their socks up and go, do you know what? A couple of seasons ago, we played better in this game against Liverpool and we still lost on penalties. So there are sort of options either side of the pitch. And let's have a little look at what I predict the starting lineup could be for Chelsea. Now, like I said, guys, this is a complete and utter guess. I'm only going to assume that because it is, in fact, a cup game, that Thomas Tuchel might, in fact, take it seriously. But, he might see it as another chance to run a few legs out onto the pitch. I really hope he doesn't. It was a bit of a feel like that when he went up against Leicester in the FA Cup because he was concentrating on the Champions League and top 4 spots. Don't blame him. We still played well, and that was a wonder goal by Leicester to win us. And, Schmeichel did pull off some sensational saves in that game. So I'm not saying that we didn't try to win that game. It just seemed to be, we had other things on our mind. So hopefully he's thinking that, there's a potential to win a trophy straight off the bat with our first competitive game. And this is the team that I've gone for. Now, going for what I would assume is his way forward, we are going for the 3 at the back, wing backs, and quite a sort of an attackive type of midfield going forward. So in goal, of course, I have put Mendy. He's our number 1 choice goalkeeper. I can't imagine that we'll put Kappa in this game. There might be. He does use them for our cup competitions, but because this is the first game, I would have assumed that Mendy might, in fact, make it in goal. In my back 3, I have, of course, gone for Thiago Silva in the middle of the 3 with Rudiger and Azpilicueta either side of them. That is a nice solid back line which we know can sort of like keep out an awful lot of goals, considering how little people scored against us in the later stages of the Premier League with Thomas Tuchel as our manager. And again, I've gone for the wing backs because we know that seems to be his way going forward. He is in fact trying to bleed and have a look to see if Callum Hudson-Odoi or Christian Pulisic can in fact play wing backs. But I'm going to play it safe and I'm going to go for the English pairing of Ben Chilwell and Reece James going up and down that flank and putting some seriously decent crosses into that box. And obviously we both know that they like to sort of run it into the opposite side and tap in a couple of goals as well. In midfield, I have put the wonder of N'Golo Conte in that sort of defensive midfield. He is brilliant. He's the only person in that position that can do the job that he does, and he does it so well. It's one of the reasons why he is considered one of the best defensive midfielders on the planet. And of course, when a couple of the other defenders go forward to try to bring a little bit more manpower up front, he can sort of slip into that position and sort of clear up and sweep away any advancing attacks by Villarreal. In the middle, just behind the striker, I've got Mason Mount. Again, I'm sort of hoping that we are going to play a strong team. Mason hasn't played a game since the Euros final. He's been on extended holiday. He didn't play in any part of the pre-season friendlies, so this is potentially his first game back. Is he refreshed? Is he match fit? Only time will tell. Well, I really don't know. Like I said, this is a massive guessing game on my behalf. Now, either side playing it wide, I have got Havertz on the right-hand side, and then I've got Hakim Ziyech on the left-hand side as well. Sorry about that. I had to sort of think which way I put them. Because, they are both attacking-minded players. Obviously, Havertz scored the winning goal that won us the Champions League, and he has played quite well in pre-season, but exactly the same as Ziyech. He has played sensational in pre-season, and I think he has earned his starting place in this game. And considering that Tammy Abraham looks like he's on his way out, a £34 million move to Roma looks to be on the cards. Maybe he's already gone by the time we've filmed it. So the only other option we seem to have looks like to be Timo Werner. Now, we like Timo Werner at Chelsea. He has a sensational sort of work rate. Yeah, his goal tally was very disappointing last season, but if he could just stay on side, which he actually did against Arsenal, did a fantastic run, stayed on side, but because of goal line technology and VAR wasn't available, he got ruled offside, which was a little bit unfair because it would have been quite nice for him to have a goal in pre-season. But by the looks of it, and watching him in pre-season, he seemed to have sort of like worked on his movement a little bit better. So I think we might see an awful lot of him. And there are rumours that there might be a pairing of him and Lukaku potentially in the next sort of like season. So that could be very, very exciting. So that is my predicted lineup. Again, I don't know if this is how it's going to be. Yeah, about 5 of those players haven't kicked a ball in anger since their potential finals, which they played in the summer. And, there could be a chance that Thomas Tuchel might see it as another way of running a few players out. There might be all sorts of different... it could be anything. It could be anything. I do predict a Chelsea win. I'm going to safely say a 2-0 win. I think Villarreal do not offer as much of an attack and press as what a lot of people might think. So I don't think they'll be able to get past us, especially that Mendy has performed quite well in pre-season, and as well as our sort of solid back three that we also have as well. So I do think we're going to have a 2-0 victory and walk away with the cup, which, we've been after for quite some time. I don't think we've won it, since we've won the Champions League in 2012. We lost it then, and both times we've got the Europa, we've lost it on those times as well. So let's hope for a victory. I'm quite confident. Of course, I would have been a lot happier if we announced Lukaku's signing beforehand and he could have played a part in this game. But it does look like that he will be ready for Crystal Palace at the weekend. But guys, I am looking forward to seeing and hearing your comments down below. So please don't forget to write something down there. Give me your score predictions. Let's chat about that a little bit as well. But until next time, enjoy the football and I'll talk to you after the game. See you later.